Would have given Albert tremendous satisfaction to see all these people gathered here to pay their last respects to a man they will see again in less than an hour.
Curb Your Enthusiasm fans, season 11, episode 1 dropped last night, and it was pretty funny. They introduced some new stuff going on, but I'm still looking for my boy Mocha Joe to cause some havoc. But I've got the wife with me, honey.
Hello.
And we're going to break down episode 1 of season 11. If you're finding me for the first time, please subscribe. Be sure to follow me on Instagram. Post your comments on how you enjoyed episode 1 of Curb Your Enthusiasm. So, honey, in the very beginning, we see old little Larry David sleeping in his bed, only to hear a noise pop up and wake him up in his head. He goes outside and bam, somebody done landed their ass in his pool and is dead. He called the police. Talk about that beginning scene, honey.
Mm-hmm. So it looked like somebody had broken his house because they showed the door was open.
Mm-hmm.
I thought, I'm still going off of Mocha Joe from last season. So
Right.
I thought Mocha Joe had something to do with it.
Me too.
And I thought maybe the body that was floating in the pool was just like a fake dead body.
I was hoping it was Mocha Joe, fell off the top of his
Oh
house.
goodness, yeah! I thought it was a fake dead body floating in the pool, and Mocha Joe was playing a trick on him.
Well, that wasn't it. They investigate and come to find out Larry is supposed to have a 5-foot fence around the pool as an ordinance in Santa Monica. So, honey, I looked it up. I couldn't find anything to substantiate that, but what I did find is they must have done an Easter egg from last season into this season, because in Santa Monica, there is an ordinance where you can sue somebody for building a spike fence.
Oh, goodness.
You can sue them based on the cause of the spike fence being too high or too low, and you can't sue them based on the materials. So
Okay.
maybe there is something to this fence thing going on out there in California.
Now I know most places you have to have a pool that's enclosed, or most people would have a fence, so it's inside a yard that's enclosed. They're not really saying they make it sound like the fence got to be around the pool,
Around the pool, man. And
not around the yard that the pool is in.
I guess, but what I do know is they have a spike fence ordinance. So
Okay.
maybe that's where Larry got the inspiration from, the spike fence. And so the cop claims he's going to help him out. No harm, no foul here. Next thing we know, we get Larry and Jeff headed to Netflix because Larry's going to pitch a new product. And when you see Larry David coming through, he's going to get a meeting no matter what studio he goes through. But when we get into this meeting with Don Jr., who looks like he could be down with Don Jr. Now, this is no secret. Larry David don't care for Republicans, and especially Donald Trump. The one thing I noticed about this scene as they're pitching his product, take a good look. They've even got in the back trailer behind Larry David, this Don Jr. with some elk he done hunted in probably Africa. Did you catch that?
Yeah.
I'm laughing at this. Like, Larry David, you's a nutcase. But did you also catch how, and I thought Larry David was going to say something, the diversity they got up in here. You got someone with special needs. You got a black dude who's rather metrosexual. Then you have a gay woman who's playing the man. Did you catch all that? Did you think Larry David was going to say something? Because I did.
Yeah.
I was sitting here saying,
I didn't notice it at first, but it is like strikingly diverse. So are they the token people for they might be the only ones in the company? Or in his little, I don't know.
Under Don Jr.'s division.
Where are they going to take this?
I don't know. But then you also notice
It's very blatant.
they
in
had
your
a
face.
rainbow in the background too outside all of a
Right.
sudden. And so
Right.
Larry David I thought he was going to say something outrageous and poke fun of it, but he didn't. But eventually.
If you hadn't pointed that out, it would have went over my head. But yeah, it is blatantly.
You know they set that up for a reason, so
Right.
we're going to see it later. And then we get Larry David, him and Jeff see Dennis Weibel, who owes Larry $6,000 Larry let this man borrow last year in the golf tournament. He confronts Dennis, and Dennis is looking at him like, what the hell, man?
Are you stalking me?
Yeah, you stalking me? Larry's like, bruh, I want my $6,000, because Larry's already thinking this dude got dementia. He might wake up tomorrow and forget he owed this man some money. Dennis basically is accusing Larry of being a bad person. Mm-hmm. Larry's like, I ain't no bad person. Honey, when people owe you $6,000, there's supposed to be terms and agreements already in place. You want your money. This is why you don't let friends and family borrow no damn money.
Yeah, basically, how you gonna get mad because you owe me money?
Exactly. And I feel like Larry's poking fun of this because this is what happens.
Exactly, that's what people do.
You
feel bad for asking for your money, like you offending them.
Yeah,
they get offended.
And to mention, his ass got some money. He in there buying muffins and coffee and shit. Mm-hmm. He got some money. He could have gave Larry, look, Larry, I'm gonna give you $100 right now. I'm gonna hit you later.
But to make it worse, he even said, well, I know I owe you money.
Right.
I ain't forget.
He ain't forget.
So what's up?
Where the hell is it? Is what Larry's saying. Then the next scene we get Larry, he's getting ready to go to meet Leon's new boo thing, Mary Ferguson. And while they're driving in Larry's Audi, which I think is an EV, you got Albert in the back seat with some boo thing of his. And in the front seat, who do we have, honey? We got old Lucy Liu in the front seat.
Yeah, she was good.
Yeah, she did good. And the chick in the back seat is making Jew jokes.
She's fanning out because I can't believe, this person. I can't believe I'm sitting in the car with all three of y'all.
Right. Yeah. She sounds like she's a Hollywood whore. She likes the lovely men of Hollywood. Not Lucy Liu, the chick in the back seat. But she had Jew jokes. Did you find her Jew jokes funny?
Yeah. They were.
As Larry would say, yeah. That's how I felt about it. Yeah. I was more happy to see Lucy Liu in the car because that's one of my homegirls from way back in the day. And I think you did like Lucy Liu. And what was the big thing she played in? The big movie it escapes my...
Charlie's Angels.
Charlie's Angels. That was it. So we get to Mary's house. This is Leon's new girlfriend. I was like, okay, Leon got him a boo thing. They're at Mary's house. And in the beginning, Larry is telling Susie about the missing money. Mm-hmm. And Susie's getting down his throat, chastising him like he's a bad guy. Yeah. I'm on Larry's side.
Why are you asking him? It's rude, Larry. It's rude to ask him for.
I'm on Larry's side. Give that man his damn money.
I was sitting here listening to her Susie go off, and I'm sitting here thinking like Susie know good and well
somebody owe her some money.
If that was her money, if he owed her money, she would be doing the exact same thing.
And she will later prove that she would do the exact same thing later on. But so we finally get to see. We get to see Leon's girlfriend, and she's a sister. So look at Larry David expanding the diversity on the show. Got Leon's little sister up
Mary Ferguson.
Mary Ferguson.
She ain't got no sister name now.
Hey, Mary Ferguson could be a sister. But what was funny to me was this sister got it going on. Got a nice house, entertaining and all that. But did you hear the scheme they trying to do?
Coming up. What?
Leon done started a damn GoFundMe so he can take his baby Mary to Asia. And did you hear how he pulls it off? He said his baby. Got people thinking he's taking his child, not his. Well, you know how us men call our women baby. I was like, Leon, man, boy, when you gonna get out of Larry David house?
Always got a scheme.
Yeah, with that damn beignet in your head. When you gonna get out of Larry house? Dad, Leon. And as we at this dinner, this luncheon, and they be having the most things happen at these little lunch gatherings on Curb Your Enthusiasm. Susie comes plop her chunky ass down beside Larry, makes him spill his wine, and she's trying to say it's his fault. So, honey, ultimately, whose fault is it? Is it Susie's fault or Larry?
Susie know it's her fault.
But wait a minute. How is it Susie's fault when Larry's holding the cup?
The way she plopped down.
Okay, so Larry can't have a tighter grip on that cup?
It don't matter how tight you were holding that cup. The way she plopped down, something was going to spill out of it.
So who should be responsible for the damages? Larry or Susie? Larry the one holding the cup.
I would say both of them.
Okay, I can get with that. And so Larry says, we'll pay for it. And Susie's like, hell no, I ain't got nothing to do with it. I ain't paying for it. And then Mary Ferguson, I thought she was about to go hood. I really did. I thought they were about to let Mary Ferguson go to hood, but she didn't. She was like, we can just go outside, have a nice time on her patio.
Now they turned and looked at Jeff and said, did she plop or did she not? And he was just like, now you know good and well I ain't about to answer that. So if we were at a dinner party and I plopped down, and then we turned to you and said, Lamont, did I plop down or not? What would you have said? Would you have done Jeff and just like,
It depends on the situation and the people. It just depends on this. If let's say we at your mama's house with Tracy and them, you plop down. Hell yeah, she plopped down. It's her fault.
So you tell my mama.
I definitely tell your mama and sister.
But if we,
it just depends on what. But if we,
it depends on how much you like the person.
Yeah. It depends on that for sure.
If you indebted to them or me, if we was at your grandma's house,
I'm gonna tell you did it. I'm gonna tell you did it.
Okay.
Yeah, you did it. So then, and as they're trying to get outside, poor Larry, he walks into the glass. Bam! Busts his little head to the white meat. Poor Larry. What's up, honey? What was you thinking when Larry busts his head to the white meat, trying to get out there to the dinner?
I mean, he was so distracted by everything that just went on. I mean, it's just something Larry would do.
Right.
I've never done it. I've seen people do it.
You seen birds do it to our window.
Yeah.
So she got some clean windows. Yeah.
Exactly.
Mary Ferguson doing the damn thing. I'm with that. But the problem here is Larry done been on 3 dates with Lucy Liu. He about to take her home. And apparently she had nodded that he was going to get the draws. And when he get her home, she's like, well, Larry, just text me when you get home. You know how y'all women do. Text me when you get home. Y'all like for us to. Larry's thinking, what the hell? You supposed to be letting me up in that house. I'm going to get these Lucy Liu draws. I'm going to figure out how low Lucy Liu is. And she's like, no, Larry, go home.
I think it's a bit much for you. You've had an eventful day.
Golly. I felt bad for Larry because Lucy Liu feel like, dude, you too old to be getting in these draws. That's what she was thinking. She was like, I'm not about to let you get in these draws. Who knows what kind of mistakes you might make on your way to my bedroom.
Well, Leon had already pointed it out, too. He said you didn't do
one more strike.
Yeah, he said you didn't did 2 senile things
and
one night.
One more, I'm going to take you to the retirement community.
Right.
But if Leon asks do that, he going to be out of a house.
All right. No, he'll come up with a way to keep it.
How?
Leon gonna come up with a way to keep it.
I don't know about that. Leon better be looking out for Larry.
He gonna act like Larry upstairs in the room.
So then we get AB. He comes over in a weird way, and he's the one having this damn funeral. What do you call this? It's a, what did he call it? A tribute to life ceremony. You said it's just a big old narcissism
he
fest.
Said, yeah, he would just want to hear people kiss his butt and talk about how much they love him.
Well, I mean,
who does this?
Don't you want to hear people that claim they love you while you're alive love you instead of waiting till you're dead?
Have a dinner.
A party.
A dinner, and we just, at the dinner, we go around saying how much y'all love me.
But not a funeral.
Not a funeral.
Yeah.
No.
Okay, so he comes here to pick up his picture with Funkhauser and just talking to Larry about the issues he's had with Lucy Liu. That was a little funny.
Maybe they got that from Coming to America.
Oh, yeah, they
Remember
could.
The Daddy on Coming to America had a funeral.
They did do that. And as AB is leaving, there's a note outside of Larry David's.
I knew this was coming.
You pick it up, and what do we see inside this letter? Somebody is trying to extort my man. Got the Santa Monica Municipal Code up here, honey, trying to extort Larry. What? And you, the first thing you said to me was, somebody trying to extort Larry.
I knew it was coming. When you saw that guy floating in the pool, and they said, well, where's the fence? I knew it was coming. When I first saw that letter, though, I'm thinking, like, is a police officer trying to get him?
That's what I thought, too. And then we learned he winds up going to this Hispanic restaurant. Del Taco Llama. And we find out the guy who's dead has a brother named Marco. That's who drowned in his pool. But, and this dude is trying to extort Larry by getting his ugly ass daughter to play in Larry's.
Ugly. She ain't ugly.
His ugly ass daughter to be in Larry's.
She's not ugly.
In Larry's new pilot with Netflix. Well, did you see the way Larry looked at Maria Sophia? And did you see the way Maria Sophia was dancing? This role calls for a Jew, not a Hispanic.
A Jew is an aspiring ballerina.
Yes, not a Hispanic and Maria Sophia. It ain't calling for none of that. And did you see the way Larry looked at her? But Larry's he's stuck. He ain't got no choice. And Marco is bribing him. So how Larry gonna get out of this, honey?
He crazy for trying to make it past. He took the bait. I didn't think No. He tried to wiggle his way out. He said, I'll give her an audition, thinking, okay, then I just, say she ain't make the cut. But no, he going to try to make it work.
Larry, he should have just told him, bruh, I see you in court. And when you a star like this, you definitely have insurance in place against bull jobs such as the such. And at the end of the day, Larry could say, well, what the hell was your brother doing trying to break in my house? This ain't my fault.
I think he would have beat the court case.
Yeah, for sure. But, this is going to be a story. Larry goes back to the clubhouse where he plays golf, and then Larry sees Dennis. And Dennis told Larry, the next time I see you at the country club, I'm going to pay you your money.
Right.
And what did Dennis say in this moment, honey?
Dennis scamming. That's what he doing.
You sure Dennis ain't really got dementia?
He don't. No, he using that to get over on people.
And then
he probably started the rumor himself.
Probably. And then he's going to tell Larry he don't never compliment nobody. And then you get Dumb and Dumber.
So Dennis pretended like I done paid you already. What you talking about? I paid you at the coffee shop.
Right. I paid. And Larry's like, no, you didn't. I remember everything. And then Dumb and Dumber come over here. And how did they get the news about Larry walking in the window? Who's spreading the tea? Who's spreading the tea?
It might have been Susie.
It probably was Susie, big mouth ass.
Or you can see Leon. Who knows?
And then Larry said, have I complimented you guys before? And they said they don't remember. And he complimented Homeboy on his pink shirt. Excuse me, his pink golf clubs. And Homeboy's like, nah, and Larry decided to just bounce from the situation. They trying to play my man, yo. Stop trying to play Larry. Then we get Larry as they're dressed to get ready to go to this fake funeral.
Susie looks nice this time.
They actually gave Susie a nice outfit this time.
But I guess if you got to wear all black, you can't mess that up, huh? No, yes you can.
Yes, you can. And Larry calls out Susie for her plop situation. Susie feels like it's still his fault. But guess what happened, honey? Susie puts her bracelet on the chair. Larry plops down on the couch. The bracelet flings through the air and loses the stone. And now Susie is blaming Larry for the same thing she did.
Right.
Is Susie being a hypocrite? 100%. You ain't even got to answer.
Well, Susie says she didn't plop. Larry did plop.
Susie plopped too.
Did she say she plopped? She said she didn't plop.
Well, then that means she's being a liar.
She said she didn't plop.
Okay, well, she's not a hypocrite. She's a liar. Which one you want? Which one makes you feel better?
She know what she did. Neither one of them.
Exactly.
But she said she ain't plop. She said, I ain't need no demonstration.
And then commences to kicking Larry out the house, telling him to go to the thing by himself. She don't want to be with him. Susie, by the way, is my second most favorite character on the show. Love Susie.
Who's the first?
Larry.
Okay.
I'm so glad Susie's on this show.
That's my girl.
Then we do get to the fake funeral, and John Hamm, who was supposed to have been playing Larry David in a movie last year. That's why he was following Larry David around all the time.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, remember he was following him, and he basically said they went to some kind of secret screening,
and nobody liked it.
And the cast hated the character,
but loved his performance.
Larry's like, what the fuck, John Hamm? Come on, John.
I forgot about that.
Talk about this, honey. Poor John. And he looked like he was so sad that he couldn't play Larry or whatever.
But he definitely getting in the character for this funeral.
Oh, Lord. Yeah, we about to get to that, man.
He came up looking sad. Larry like, what you looking like that for? He said, because so-and-so died.
Right. And as if he don't really know the truth. Poor fella. And all while this is going on, honey, this is when we find out AB is upstairs with this girl looking at everybody downstairs. What was going through your mind when you saw this, other than laughter of tears?
Ridiculous.
It's like ridiculous, man. It's like, come on, bruh. You feel that down on yourself that you have to have a fake funeral every year for people to congratulate you. Well, I guess whatever floats your boat.
They showing up.
They showing up, man. They showing up. And then we get Larry. He sees Lucy Liu outside. She basically tells him, look, Larry, you're a little too old for me. I worry about you. Let me give you this cup of water so that you don't mess up your speech. Any thoughts on Lucy Liu still dissing Larry one more time and then tell him to have a nice life?
No. We saw it coming. It warned us. So
I feel bad for poor
Larry.
Larry.
Sorry, Larry.
Yeah, he missed out on.
So that means Lucy Liu ain't gonna be on here no more.
I don't know. Larry probably gonna have to do what he had to do last year. He's gonna have to get Cheryl draws to boost him back on up. And then now this was funny. So while AB is upstairs watching all this,
leave it to Larry to ruin it.
Larry is downstairs telling jokes as if my man is alive the way he should. I enjoyed every minute of Larry down here telling the truth.
He's ruining the whole experience.
Larry ain't ruining nothing. Larry is telling the truth. But not to be outdone, John Hamm gets up there, and I feel like we's in a real damn wake. For real. He was up there talking about his inspiration.
He did what he was supposed to do. Yeah. That's what Larry was supposed to be up there doing, but he was ruining the mood.
Mm-hmm. And then, this is what got everybody upset. Larry go to the bathroom, and guess what Larry finds in the closet? Albert is a COVID hoarder. Look at that closet, honey. Right. Look at all those things in that closet. Purell, he's got masks. He even got Charmin toilet paper in there. He's a COVID damn hoarder.
I thought they were about to start distributing it, reaching in there, passing everybody sanitizer, and that's what I thought they were going to do. With, I guess they didn't. They left it. And
so when Albert sees Larry going through the closet and everybody gets up, he actually comes out the room and is standing at the top of the thing. And people is mad with him, John Hamm, saying, what about the first responders?
They could have
Look at the serious, and look at Susie. Look how she... Susie is not somebody you want to get on her bad side. And they all basically cuss my man out, leave the house. They upset with him. Is this going to be the end of him throwing a fake funeral?
Who knows?
And before we get everybody out of there, Mary Ferguson, who is about to go get her coat from the poolside, did exactly what Larry did. So y'all can stop clowning my man. She walked directly into a glass, fell on her butt, and Larry is standing over there looking at her. And Leon's like, man, I'm done with her. I'm thinking, Leon, come on, man. You don't get women like that. They don't just grow on trees, bro. You gotta forgive her for this one trespass. And he was like, hell to the no.
Nope, can't look at her no more. Not that way.
So what does Leon decide to do? He's gonna find him some other Mary Ferguson. He's going to have an audition for Mary Ferguson. I done heard it all on the Larry David show. Then Susie, before she goes home, decides to take her broken necklace to old Dementia boy.
Her bracelet.
Her broken bracelet to old Dementia boy. And says that it's supposed to be a lifetime warranty. He says he don't know nothing about that. And what did Susie say, honey?
I was waiting as soon as I left his mouth. I'm like, oh no, you done said this to the wrong person. Susie, she ain't playing.
No.
Susie ain't playing that.
No, Susie don't play no games up in this piece. She grabbed him by the neck and she said, when I come back, this thing better be fixed and it ain't gonna cost me no effing money. Love Susie, man.
He's just playing it. That's what I said. He's just playing it up. He has no dementia. He spreaded the rumor himself so that he can get over on people and get sympathy.
I would agree, definitely. And then we see the auditions for Mary Ferguson, and Leon has some strident criteria for this thing now. He wants this one lady to pretend, if they needed to pretend that they're both handicapped so they can jump the line at the airplane.
so they can be wheeled through the airport and jump the line.
And this lady said she didn't feel comfortable. But guess what?
This is going to be a hot mess.
He continued through the auditions because, look, he got these tickets to Asia.
He looking for a female version of Leon, which makes you wonder what the girl was like that he was with.
Right.
Who was she?
Right. We need some more backstory on that, Mary Ferguson.
Because they got along.
But check this out.
So she was planning to do all this stuff with him going over to Asia.
Possibly.
Oh, Lord.
But, but he don't want to give up these tickets that he funded me for this trip. So he's got to find him another Mary Ferguson. Now, guess what he done found him? He done found him a Karen version of Mary Ferguson.
This is going to be a hot mess. Can you imagine? She might outdo Leon.
And she looks scary as hell to me. That's a scary ass Karen Mary Ferguson.
Leon better watch out.
Leon, you better watch your back.
He tried to give her a high five and she psyched him out and said, oops.
Right, I saw that.
She going to get him a run for his money.
Yeah, Leon in trouble, ladies and gentlemen. Hold your horses for this season because it's going to be a doozy. And while Leon is doing his audition, Larry is having auditions at Netflix for the person that's going to play the role in his show. And of course, Guess who shows up?
Now,
Sophia.
His faces while he's sitting there watching all these people audition, he's trying to convince them that he's not interested in whatever, was a classic.
Yeah, it was hilarious. And then when you first come into the audition, you got to give up a headshot of what may happen. Look at Maria Sophia's headshot. Her headshot is her whole damn body and a pot cooking on a gas stove, honey.
Yeah, somebody just snapped the picture and said, "Here you go."
Yeah, this'll work. But I mean, in this situation, what does she have to lose? And then they started kind of picking on weight in the audition, and she wasn't feeling it. And none of the people in the audition was feeling her. But Larry just said, "Yep, that's it. Let's go."
If they acting like, "Oh yeah, here we go."
We got a hit.
And she came in almost a little flirty. It's just one. She said, "Hey, Al," and he like, "Don't be saying, act like you don't know me."
Then basically. She winked at him. And so this is gonna be a mess, ladies and gentlemen. Then they ended with Larry David actually going to the orchestra with his boy, the COVID hoarder. And they play Larry David's theme music as they're sitting there watching the orchestra play. Any thoughts? Me and my wife thought something was going to happen.
Right.
Like there was going to be a post-credit scene like Marvel.
Because it usually goes off with something bizarre happening. Right. Yeah.
So,
but it was good. Good introduction. I like seeing the crew back together. Yes. You got Susie, you got Larry, you got Leon. Yep. You can't get...
And Cheryl's going to be coming real soon.
What about Richard?
Richard Lewis is going to be coming soon. So the only one I haven't seen evidence is going to pop up, which I hope he does, is Marty Funkhauser.
Okay.
Yeah, so you got to have some Marty Funkhauser. And I guess based on this first episode, there ain't nothing going to be going on with Mocha Joe. And the chick that tried to sue Larry from last season, don't forget about her.
Yeah.
So I think that they're not going to have them in the story this season. But we enjoyed the first season. Post your comments down below how you liked it. And that's going to do it for this video. Don't forget to like the video. Please comment, subscribe, get yourself that life game. Till that next Curb Your Enthusiasm episode next Sunday, we'll see you.